welcome back to Zoëthopia. We believe that knowledge is power. My name's Zoe Robson. I am here to empower you through knowledge and motivation, and I'm not a fusser. Let's get to learning. And in today's video, I'm not just saying hi and welcome back to Zoëthopia, I'm also saying hi and welcome back to this series on my channel where we talk about the best podcasts and audiobooks for young women. And this is a book that I've heard several times through and through. I actually also bought the book physically at a thrift store a few weeks ago. I'm renovating my office. You might notice that the color is entirely different. It was dark blue, now it's light pink. Love it. But I am renovating my office, so everything's just everywhere. So I don't have a physical copy here right now, but I was posting it on Instagram a while back. And yeah, this is a book that just means a lot to me, that I think is really, really good for like people of all ages and genders and everything, but especially for young women. Because this book is Never Split the Difference, written by lead FBI hostage negotiator in international situations, Chris Voss. Now has his own company, the Black Swan, it's like private investigating. But the point is, this guy was the lead negotiator for like international hostage situations in FBI. And he got his job in the FBI as the lead hostage negotiator through a lot of hard work and negotiation. But the book starts with him attending a seminar at Harvard, because Harvard was like, oh, the lead theorist for negotiation. Through the seminar, he actually found out that the FBI's techniques, like the meatheads at FBI, like he said, worked better than the techniques they taught at Harvard, you know? So these are very, very actionable techniques that work. And he shows that in every single chapter. Every chapter introduces a technique, and every chapter starts with and sort of has the thread of a story of something that happened, like some hostage negotiating situation where he uses this technique that you also can use like with your kids or at work or whatever, you know. But these are like proven concepts. Like someone's life was saved because of this technique that you now can use to get a raise. So this is like real actionable advice that can be used in a myriad of situations. And he does also give examples of different situations, not just like life and death, but how this is used in different situations as well. It's just like, obviously, like the chapter isn't going to be centered around him haggling about a car, but there are examples of him haggling around a car and using the same techniques and it's working. But the main focus is always some like cool action story. But like Chris Voss says, everything is negotiating. And that is something that I think people forget a lot. Like whether we're talking about like what we're having to dinner, how much we're getting paid, who's going to be president, everything is negotiating. This is so important, and especially for women. You know, as women, we have a lot of areas where we haven't reached equality. And in a lot of situations, what is standing between us and equality is women being able to actually fight for what they want and not being afraid to be like rude or asking too much, or like, oh, it's embarrassing if I don't get it. It's not embarrassing if you don't get a raise. It is embarrassing if you live your entire life without asking for a raise when you know that you deserve it. You know, don't ever be afraid to be embarrassed to get what you want. And implementing these techniques is a way of getting what you want, not only like more effectively, but also in a way where you make that other person want to give you what you want. So maybe this is a technique, or these are several techniques that women will be more comfortable with, you know. That's something to think about. But I am always, to all women, like seriously, don't ever be afraid to be embarrassed. Like who cares? A lot of people would be embarrassed to make YouTube videos, for example, and everyone's like, oh, how do you do it? Like, isn't that weird talking to a camera? And I'm like, no, I'm not talking to a camera. I'm talking to the people who are watching my videos. And I don't think anyone would have thought that I, who am not an astrologer or anything, can make a video on like how to make a Taurus fall in love with you and have thousands of people watch it. But I did. And suddenly, like when 13,000 people watch your video, then people don't think it's as embarrassing anymore. It's when just 13 people watch it, but I'm doing the same thing, you know? And I think what I really love about this book is that like this isn't like weird influencer advice. It's not like, but it's not like Gwyneth Paltrow is telling you how to negotiate because she read a couple of books on it. Like this is a person who his job was to negotiate to save lives, to be able to negotiate with the most dangerous people on earth, to have them give up a hostage without killing them and not even giving them what they want. And that was his job. So this isn't weird advice in any way. This is like proven advice, and it is advice from someone who really, really knows what they're talking about, who aren't like, it's not the clout that makes us listen to him, it's his actual professional expertise. It is just real, grounded, and backed up advice. And even if we disregard the whole knowledge of the book and everything, how helpful it is, this is a super interesting and fun and entertaining book, because like I said, we look into all of these different situations with honestly colorful people, and it's just not boring. You know, it is a self-help book. It is like full of real actionable advice, but it is so action-packed, it can't be boring, you know? And it is honestly really, really well written. And the audiobook isn't voiced by Chris Voss. It is voiced by, I don't know who he is, but he has a great voice and he's really, really good at making the words come to life. It's like it was Chris Voss, but it's this guy who's probably like a professional actor, and it's just really, really compelling. You know, and these techniques, they can be used with children, parents, bosses, employers, employees, buyers, sellers, teachers, and even hostage takers. And the book is on Audible, so you know, easy as pie. Don't forget to subscribe for more real actionable advice, like just downloading Never Split the Difference, and all types of content that is made for your empowerment. See you soon.